so honored to have you here today on this historic occasion. My name is Ianifa Adeloye, Ifalade Tashia Asante, Iola Omi Kunle Karade. I want to welcome you to our international launch of the Tawede holiday today. And on behalf of all of our elders, on behalf of our temple, I am so excited to tell you more about this and to have Baba speak to us today. I want to start by acknowledging the leadership of Ile Ori Agbe Egun and acknowledging Awoyi Fadunsin, who is present here today, and also by acknowledging our visiting elder, Orisha Day, who is my sister in the Ifa tradition. And we're going to get right to introducing our beautiful chief priest, our Baba, our Oba, our king, our beloved Oloye. Ile Ori is and has been from its inception a groundbreaking and unique community, born from the cultural vision and spiritual model birthed by Oloye Ifa Karade and Iya Sequoia Karade. Ile Ori and I Teach Love Institute were created to facilitate healing, wellness, and the celebration of family, community, and diverse expressions of spirituality and human experience. The people who find a home in Ile Ori are almost always leaders in their own right, who would neither survive nor thrive in a fear-based, control and dependency-oriented society. So I just wanted to read that little bit to you. And of course, this does not tell you the history, which is just incredible. I'm going to have Orisha Day pray and greet him and bless him in the Oshun tradition. Orisha Day, would you join us, please?
Yes. Okay, I'm Ianifa Orisha Day. I got a couple of names in there. I'll just keep it short right there. Ianifa Orisha Day Awadola. And giving all honor and respect first to our elders and the leader of the Karade Nation, the sacred born day of the leader of the Karade Nation, Baba Oloye Ifa Karade. And I know it's a prayer, but I have to always acknowledge Baba because when I met him in 1995, I was actually in Seattle looking for a book because I was a publisher, writer. And that's how I ran across concepts. And I was like, what is this? Anyway, not going into the story, but that's how it happened. For those that are on this line, probably had similar encounters. So I'm going to start with, again, saying Modupoe Baba for the beautiful Karade Nation. I'm a daughter of Oshun. And I'm going to say the Yoruba prayer, and then I'm going to do both English. Okay, so here we go. Iba Oshun Arure Ola Olu. And that's, I respect the spirit of the river, the central inspiration and creation. Olori Gun, chief priestess of devotion. Erwe Obiran, source of women's power. Awade Koto Wemo, your sacred herbs is my inspiration. Yeye mi I do pray. I thank you, my mother, Yeye Oshun. Ibashe Oshun Mojuba, Ibashe Oshun Mojuba, Ibashe Oshun Mojuba. And that's giving thanks to Oshun by way of the river. And now I'll just add this little part. Modupwe Oshun, as you guide us as the rivers are rising, twisting, and turning, as are situations in our life, that you will guide us kindly through the rivers of the water as we move forward in our lives, as we move forward in this discussion, as we move forward to lift each other up, as we move forward to respect and love each other, as we move forward to respect Tawede as our guiding light. Ashe.
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 Asheo.
Asheo.
Ashe, give thanks, give thanks, give thanks for that beautiful blessing. We are also today joined by Baba Akankube. All right. Well, blessings, blessings. I want to give homage to all of our beautiful people who have joined us. We don't have time today to go through everyone to welcome you, but I want to just invite Ia Onishango Day Pepper, who also has a tribute for Baba on his birthday.
Laboru Aboye Abosise, Baba. I just want to give thanks for you, give thanks for the nation that you've created, give thanks for all the upliftment that you've provided, the guidance you provided, the wisdom you provided, and the love that you provided. We appreciate you, we love you, and we honor you on this day. Ashe, ashe, ashe.
Shell,
Modupwe. Yeah.
Shell, thank you, thank you. I wanted to read a poem that I wrote for Baba today, and I wanted to acknowledge, I think it's 50 years now of work and contributions to empowering our community, to healing our community. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for planting my feet in the mud, for praying over my Ori, for blessing me with Yemaya, who has been my lifeblood, who has healed an entire family, who has empowered an entire family. And I just thank God for you, Baba. And I thank God for your wisdom, your books, your music, your teaching, which has been my constant companion for over 26 years. I thank God for all of the growth, the lessons, the healing that you have helped. And this is what you have birthed. And this is only a glimpse of it. Hundreds, if not perhaps thousands of people have been impacted by your work, by your wisdom, by your gifts and knowledge. And I thank you for the book, the first book that I found, which was the handbook of Yoruba religious concepts. And if you don't have that book, if you're on this call today and you don't have that book, that is required reading. And Ia Onishango Day has put it in the chat. So all the links for the books are in the chat. So you can go on Amazon.com and get the books. You can go to Baba's website, Gumroad, and get the books today, in your hand today. And I want to invite a pet to be Ia Oyaseke, who first met Baba when he was doing his movie. And she got a chance to meet Baba and talk with Baba. I want to invite you to recognize and appreciate Baba today.
Thanks, yeah.
Blessings.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Baba. I just really want to say, I just give thanks for your crown. I give thanks for your knowledge, your inspiration, your energy. I give thanks for your wisdom. And I have literally every time I speak with you or I see your face, I get lit up. It's like I tap into my ancestors when I talk to you, Baba. And I just give thanks for you. I celebrate your life today. Keep shining, keep being strong, keep teaching, keep doing what you do. I love you. Thank you, Baba Karade. Thank you so much.
Modupwe. Modupwe. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful.
And Awo Ifa Dunson, are you still on here?
Yes, yeah.
Great. That's right.
Aboye Aboshishe Baba.
Apoato.
Just honor to you. And, this is the place that I found home through Yanifa Ifala Day. And so many other people have found home because of your Ashe. And one of the things that just even inspiration wise, one of the prayers that you give, the Iruwa Daji, and that was the first prayer that I ever saw written. And then it came back to me whenever I went to Nigeria and was given it there. And so just seeing that full circuit of you being the gateway for the larger ways that Orisha has consistently shown themselves. And so just Maferifon to your Obatala, to your Ifa, to all of your ancestors, because this walk is.
Yeah.
And so just sincere thank you on behalf of not just our community, but our ancestors.
Yes. Yes. Much appreciated. Much
Thank-
appreciated, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. I shall give thanks.
There we go. Baba, it's so nice to see you. To all my lovely elders in the Ile. I feel like this comes full circle because, Baba, I met you when Iya Orisha Day, who just did a blessing, brought you into our class for root psychology. And then I got connected with lovely godmother through Orisha Day as well. So your book is amazing and it has so many wonderful things in it to allow Black Americans to be able to step into our culture in a way that's positive and informative. And I'm now using your book to teach my stepson because he wants to step into IFA. So I'm just grateful for the knowledge and the ability to be able to live this life, and so thankful for you. Happy Earth Day. Thank you for everything.
Much appreciated, Iya. Thank you.
That is amazing.
Thank you so much. Modupwe. Modupwe.
I say. And
Thank you, Ifa Shadi. Nicely said.
Baba Tawede.
Apuruba. Oye, he say Oloye, Karade.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yay. We have Baba Karade, Akube. Oh, I say.
Mhm.
I say, oh.
Yeah. I'm on the run, but I could not I didn't want to miss this opportunity just to say Eku Odun Oloye and thank you. You know, probably for so many of us to say thank you for the great work, the great work, the unsung work. There are thanks and accolades. However, if you really think about the work and think about what has been done and what goes unnoticed, there just aren't enough thanks to be given because of so many lives that have been changed. So many people have been reached in ways great and small. Tones have been set. I've been saying this for decades, that there is a list of books out there that are staples in the Isheshe community that are based on the Handbook of Yoruba Religious Concepts. The format is there. There are levels of books, and no one had the courage to do it until that book hit the ground.
That's right.
And that one book is responsible for
Or all.
my evolution. And I'm just one person. I'm only one person. There's a lot more.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't directly responsible for the evolution, it helped other people evolve in it.
Yeah.
So this one book that's seemingly small is very great. And the work and the courage that it took for you to compile all of the information that you compiled to create that book. It's been so much to so many. And we say thank you. We appreciate it. And there are other out there that do, but I think that because Isheshe is not popular in a way, that the actual counting isn't really there like it should be. But I want you to know that for all of the years that it will not go unnoticed.
Mm.
Not here.
Yeah.
It's been a great work. And I'm glad to see that it's published in another language now, Portuguese.
Yes.
Portuguese and prior Spanish, German, and Dutch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Portuguese just last week.
Yes. So,
Beautiful.
more people will be reached,
Yes.
and the work becomes exponential because you've helped so many of us to fulfill our destinies and set people on the path to help others fulfill theirs. So, Eku Odun, and may you continue to be blessed and continue to receive blessings of both heaven and earth and the accolades that you deserve.
Ashe.
Much appreciated.
Ashe.
Appreciate it. Okay. Bye-bye.
More than welcome.
Okay.
Ashe.
Much.
Thank you, Awo. And Awo
Mm.
Akunkugbe poured water at my initiation. He was one of the elders that was there.
Shay.
So I'm so grateful. We're going to start our program now on Tawede. And we're now going to go into the part of our program where Baba's going to talk to you. Today is the launch of Tawede. Thank you, Awo. Thank you for that.
Oh, you are welcome.
We want to get this message out across the U.S. and all over the world because, as Baba said in that video, everybody who's been initiated starts by watching that video with Akube speaking and Oloye speaking. And Baba says, we are international. And we are in various countries. We have traveled the globe and been in multiple cities in the U.S. And so today, we are going to launch Tawede the same way that Kwanzaa was launched, the same way that other national holidays were launched. We are going to introduce Tawede because this is a brilliant concept centered in Ifa spirituality. And so without further ado, I'm going to read the bio and then I'm going to bring him onto the mic. Oloye Ifa Karade, aka Baba Ifa Karade, is the co-founder of the Ifa Institute of Self-Development and Global Perspectives. He's highly regarded for his writings on the Ifa tradition, to include the Handbook of Yoruba Religious Concepts, historic. He continues to lecture and serve on panels reflecting Ifa philosophy and practice. In 1991, Oloye journeyed to Ijibo, Nigeria, and was initiated into Ifa and Isheshe. He then went on to establish Ile Tawo Lona Temple of the Mystic Path. He assisted in the dissemination of ancestral history and ritual making him one of the first African Americans to pioneer the Ifa, the Orisha Ifa Isheshe movement. Oloye is a veteran, retired secondary school teacher, professional percussionist, currently an adjunct professor. He enjoys Tai Chi, meditation, reading, writing, being pescatarian, and performing as a percussionist. So if you have not heard him play, you can experience his music on YouTube, and in some of his performances are there. He continues to produce and embody our traditions, our culture, and philosophy. So it gives me warm and happy and pride to introduce our beloved, our king, our Oba, our chief, Oloye Ifa Karade.
I give thanks. I'm deeply appreciative of the offerings of kind words, the offerings of truth that has come from each and every one of you. those who are right here, and those who may hear these words as time goes by. I'm the one who gives thanks. I'm the one who, on this day of my birth, bestow upon you the gift of my life, the gift of my essence, the gift of my spirit. I was asked to share a libation, and I do so in this way because our tears are waters, and they be tears sometimes of sorrow, they be tears sometimes of suffering, but they also are tears of joy, tears of happiness, tears that come at the birthing of a child. My libation is my tears because I am so deeply appreciative. And the spirit that moves through me sees and embraces the sincerity and the love that you share with me. I receive so that I may give. And I also give so that I may receive. It's reciprocity, but on a deeper level. It's a continuum, because this is how communities are formed. This is Ashiwada. This is how Ilays become more than concrete structures and titles. The continuum of reciprocity on deep and abiding levels of understanding, of love beyond the physical and the conceptualized, a matter of being. My libation comes from deep within me, and the waters of Olokunye Moja, Oshun, they course throughout our bodies. There are poets and prophets who have said that the salt of our tears is the salt of the oceans. We embody the Orisha. And I pour that libation within myself unto the earth essence of myself. And I encourage all who hear my voice to contemplate and to deeply emerge from within. We give homage to the paths that we're on. We give homage to the Orisha. Omi Tutu, Ona Tutu, Ile Tutu, Mojibalo Arun, Mojibalo Fin, Mojibalo Dumare. We give homage to the God essence. But that God essence is within us. The space that we are more so comprised of than flesh. We are more space than we are flesh. We are more space than we are water. So when we speak of that Olorun, when we speak of that Oludumare, we're speaking of that space within us. And when we speak of those waters, we speak of those waters that course through our veins. And when we speak of our ancestors, embracing the understanding that we don't have to pass on in this physical dimension to be ancestors. We are ancestors right here, right now. We carry the ancestral, and we, as parents, have brought forth the ancestral. And I say that when we embrace the understanding, not just have it, but embrace it and internalize it, we pour libation to the ancestors because they are in us. They are inside of us. And yes, they may be a part of the collective consciousness or unconsciousness or ritualized manifestation. But first and foremost, with clarity, we are living ancestors. We are. So when we give homage, when we pour libation, let it also be an internal understanding, realization, and then we actualize it. We walk the earth as ancestral forces of nature, of existence. And this heightens our awareness. This heightens our purpose. This heightens our reason, our perceptions, and perceiving. Because we see through the eyes of our ancestral bearing, and we see through the eyes of our descendants. So I pour libation. I pour libation for my teachers, my Oluwos, my initiators. Ibaye, Iyanda Keye, Ibaye, Araba Malomo, Araba Malomo. Place my feet in the mud, Ejibo, Nigeria. Okay. Elders who bestowed upon me a greater sense of purpose, a greater sense of purpose, and the necessity to be aligned with my destiny as a being of spirit, as an ancestral reality, not a thought, not a hypothesis, not a speculation, but a concrete reality, a concrete statement, and to then become a portal, a passageway, if you will, so that others can grasp the essence of their being and the deepness of their libations. So I give homage to all of my teachers and initiators. I give homage. I give homage. I give homage. Ashe.
Ashe.
Shay.
Yeah.
Tawede.
Yeah. Okay. So
Tawede.
we're going to have a moment to speak about the 40, 50 years that it took to bring Tawede into being. you know, say about the old folks. It's like, all right, y'all need to sit down for a minute. Need somebody, light the fire because it's going to take a while. I'll attempt to be concise, and then we can all continually revisit. This is not the last time I'm going to be seen on Zoom or whatever other social platform arises, and I do make myself available, anytime, any place. If there's a call, then I will answer. More so via my Facebook page, but even more so via Ianifas and the Babas, who might say, well, we want to give a class or something's happening, Bobby, come speak. All right. So that said, know that whatever is not covered in the time that we have, there is much more time, Tawede came to me as a revelation. And as I've stated, and you'll hear me state time and time again, that with every revelation, there's a resurrection. Okay. And it's like, for all that is out there in terms of holy days, okay, I'm not connecting. And I don't feel as though that is because I'm being rebellious or I have something to prove or I want to lead people away from whatever and to wherever. So I open myself up to signs, to voices, and what became evident is that why are you looking for something that you can create? Why are you waiting for someone to do what you have been given the ashe to do? When are you going to realize the reality of your existence, of your bearing, now that you've cast off the conditioning of your own mind, of your own soul? So I said, okay. And as was prior stated, the courage that it takes, another long story about how the handbook came into being. There were some very traumatic days, but courage, skill, technique, strategy, all braided into one led to the success. And I feel that echoing with Tawede. All homage to Ianifa Tashia. Okay. So I sat down and I began to write. It took me about 2 or 3 years. And I'm looking at, again, holy days and days that have become culturally iconic, like Kwanzaa. And again, I found it interesting that Ifa was not represented, that Isheshe is unseen and unheard in the holy days that are layers of not only our historical and our celebratory expressions, but in respect even to our psyche, to the spiritual growth. Right? And look at other countries like Brazil, okay, where there is some kind of historical continuity, if you will. And I look at even along with Candomblé, Santeria, Lukumi, and there is a concrete, acceptance of the cultural backbone, if you will, of Orisha involvement. And then I looked at this country. And again, coming up empty. And not empty in respect to how people have come to see the branches or even the leaves of Ifa, through various forms, be it the quote unquote voodoo or the quote unquote hoodoo or the quote unquote High John the Conqueror, most of which born out of survival, and most of which born out of weaponizing in order to offset the horrific experiences that we've had to carry. And I get it. I understand the syncretisms in whatever form they come in. I do. I'm not here to argue it. But what I am here to do is state that we can have a stronger backbone in this country with these experiences, not different than most, if not all people at any given point on a historical timeline. But right here, right now, what is it that we can do to strengthen Ifa and Isheshe as people right here, right now? What mark are we going to place on our historical timeline? What are we doing? I said, well, just like the handbook was given birth to, just like Ojise was given birth to, and on, here comes Tawede. Tawede, loosely interpreted, Tawede, that which has been uplifted, uprooted, if you will, and placed in a process of cleansing, our way to cleanse oneself after being or as being uprooted from one level of understanding, now being cleansed as a process, and then the day, Tawede, to mean either consciousness or deliverance. So here we have Tawede, okay? To be uprooted, to be shaken from a conditioned state of mind, to not only be free, but to be liberated. And then to self-reflect in a state of calmness and clarity, and to be washed in those waters, and then be delivered unto greater heights and realms of understanding. This is Tawede. From the Odu perspective, in Ejiagbe, the barren woman went to the Ifa priest because she wanted to bear children, and she could not. The Ifa priest shared with her, make your offerings to Obatala, and you will conceive. So, of course, she followed the directions. She did what she was instructed to do. And at first, it seemed like nothing was happening. A year went by, a few months more went by, and she was ready to give up. But she didn't. Her level of sincerity, her deepness of worship, her continual offerings brought forth the day when she finally conceived. And in homage to that, she presented herself as a disciple of Ifa and made covenant with Obatala. You see? And on a surface level, one might say, oh, well, the Odu, the Odu, the Odu. But when we peel back the layers, we see the symbolism behind it. We see it as allegorical. We see that there's a spiritual meaning behind it. Everything is not just on a three-dimensional plane. The way I see it is not necessarily the way that I would, indoctrinate others to see it. I'm not cut from that cloth. But the way I do see it is we give birth to ourselves, our ideas, our thoughts. We give birth to our conceptualizations. Okay? We have thoughts. We conceive epiphanies and revelations. We continue to give birth to ourselves. And in the case of a place of nights where Amina is consistently resurrected, see, she has greater opportunities to be reborn. So Tawede, again, attempting to be as concise as possible. So Tawede brings to us this understanding of resurrection. Because in order to grow, there's things we have to let go. And it's not so much letting go of people and letting go of bad habits and, making New Year's resolutions or whatever. But no, we have to, consider letting go of how we think about things, letting go of how we perceive things, because see, everything around us is going to be our past experiences. Oh, well, just let it go. The traumas and the glories, the lows and the highs. Oh, well, just let it go and you can be spiritual. It does not work like that. But strengthening ourselves, having that determination to bear the rebirthing of ourselves, to bear the resurrection of ourselves, to continue to grow when it seems like we've done all that we can do and we've suffered all that we can suffer. And I'm stating that there is no end. But when you strengthen yourself and you change from within, a sense of greatness comes. And that spiritual transformation that everybody seems to seek and need to have, it takes on a new shape. There's a new dawning. And then we begin to shine as lights amongst the children of humankind. So this is Tawede. Okay? It's not so much of a ritual as it is a spiritual. if you understand the difference. Okay? It's not so much if everybody has to do it this way or that way. No, everybody
right.
has to sit down and really kind of take a good look at themselves and determine how they're going to spend 16 days from December 16th to December 31st. How they're going to spend 16 days on a spiritual pilgrimage. On a spiritual pilgrimage. I spent 16 days last Tawede. Hopefully this book will come through. Stephen, writing this book, Ogba. Every day I wrote for 16 straight days. And each and every day, I became clearer. Not so much to the world, you know. I sip tea with my soliloquies, and I fast with my solitude. So that this is the growth internal, where we start to listen to our inner selves, because that's where the pilgrimage is. You know? The Ogban. And I put it all in the book, also titled Ogban, which means wisdom, great wisdom. So this is, again, a reflection of Tawede. So as we resurrect, as we cleanse, as we find ourselves delivered of clearer, into clearer consciousness, into understandings, then whatever little particles, if you will, of wisdom that begin to infuse themselves, if you will, inside of us, and when we begin to carry ourselves accordingly, we are now again on the path of Tawede, an internal pilgrimage, where we are now listening to the internal wisdom. Agbe, okay? He who is supported by the essence. We understand our Ori Ode, Ori Inu, Ori Apadi, or Ori Isheshe, that I like to call it. And then we get into the Ogban, Inu, and Ogban Ori. You see, there's so much more to our ancestral essence, our ancestral reality. Okay? And we can continually ritualize. Again, that's I understand the necessity of it. but we don't seem to have a philosophical basis. We don't seem to have a cultural background. We are building on this via Tawede. And when it comes down to our ancestral understanding, and we look at even the term Isheshe, okay, of which I've heard various definitions, but the strongest one, the one that I roll with, colloquially speaking, is the one that I found in the Odu. Okay. And that is what takes place within the cradle of the human being, within the cradle of life itself, any mammal. Okay. But the human being, because of our awareness and consciousness, within the cradle of our essence, within the sacredness of our hip bones. And I'm like, that's deep. Because when we speak ancestrally, how can we negate the sacredness of what goes on in that region of our body? It's where our reproductive organs are. Okay. It is a stabilizing factor even in our physical being. And our elders just didn't see bones as bones on the physical level, because even within the bones is where the red blood cells are produced. Bones are life. You see, so Tawede helps us to go in. And in doing so, we may start to dismiss the externalization of religion, the externalization of spirituality, where everything happens outside of us and we are indoctrinated to think that there is nothing important about us and we have to, abandon self in order to reach the glory of God and blah, blah, blah. And I'm saying no. If you're going to go on a spiritual pilgrimage, and for example, in some places, every step that you took on perhaps let's just say 16-day journey, you had to kneel down and foribale to the ground. That was your pilgrimage. When it wasn't so much of what happens when you get to the destination, but what happens to you in the process. This is Tawede. You have 16 days to come up with a way and a strategy that heightens you, that fortifies you. And yes, it's good to move as a group, but everybody on the team doesn't play at the same position. But if everybody is strong, then when we come together, our strength is unstoppable. Magnificence becomes the cloth that we don. Royalty and grace becomes the aura that exudes from out of us. We don't have to, be pompous and makes all kind of, commands and demands on people. And as Iya Orishade stated earlier, it's like Baba doesn't mess with anybody. You know what I mean? He's not all into doing this and all into doing that and setting people up at A, B, C, D and all that kind of thing. He's like, y'all grown. Build your own thrones, and do something good in the world, because that is ultimately what Orunmila states that we should be about. Ipo Rere, making the world a better place. And that world doesn't have to be 360 degrees of earth. It could be your own immediate Ile. It could be your own immediate family. I still continue to teach. So when I walk into that classroom, working with these young pre-collegiate and college students, it's like, that's my world. And I'm stepping in here to make a positive change. You see? So these type of determinations is what I'm encouraging us to explore via Tawede. Tawede is just a portal, just like that womb within the sacredness of our mothers are portals for the birthing of the essence of a being. And Tawede gives homage to that. So yeah, light a candle for every day, and each day symbolically represents an Odu. Now again, in Agbont, I go through each and every Odu, not to try to divine or read, but to inform, okay? And then some insights on perhaps how to interpret an Odu as more than an order or a dictation, but more so as food for thought, nourishment for better being. You see? So the importance of Tawede, in closing and summary, is to acknowledge Ifa and Isheshe as not only our spiritual endeavoring, but our backbone, you know, the spinal being of ourselves. Okay. And to understand that the journey is a very individual pursuit, but bringing all of our individual pursuits together, that's where the power is. So I present the books. I had no idea of where they would go or how they would get there. I just bore the pain of the birth. And I state that every study is an eternity. Every word is a teardrop. See? Every epiphany, every revelation is a resurrection. So I encourage you to write during Tawede. 16 days, every day, journalize. But come from your spirit, not from what you've been told or what you thought. Just sit down and flow. And flow. And let your pen sing a song on that paper. Okay. Let your clarity come through. Let the pilgrimage be meaningful. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe, Baba. Thank you so much. I was taking copious notes. I hope all of you had your pens and pad out, because when the chief speaks, it's time for prime learning. And I remember when Baba first introduced me to Tawede, and over
Yeah,
the years,
I can't see you.
oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
And over the years, I've tried to
Thank you.
embrace Tawede and have introduced it to the temple. And I don't know if is Awo still on here. Awo 1 year, every single day of Tawede, did a writing of Odu, of the Odu Ifa. And I thought, wow, that was amazing, because the consistency of, doing something for 16 days is so powerful, because it becomes a habit. It becomes a practice through that, that observance. And so, and one of the dreams that I have is that we can convene somewhere if not the entire 16 days, 8 of the days, whether it's in another country or somewhere here in the US, to do Tawede as a community. That's a dream of mine to organize that, to be a part of that. But we can start simple. I'm one that, they say, okay, before you jump out the helicopter, we can start simple on December 16th, with beginning a cleansing diet, a purification diet. We can begin by only spending our resources in places that feed us, that, give back to our community. And, and if you look at what happens just on those 2 acts that Tawede teaches, and there's a document that I will email to everyone on here and send out to the individual temple leaders that Baba authored, that can teach you how to practice Tawede, and I'll provide his information where you can send a love offering to support the work of Tawede. But, and it has the details on what to do each day, how to plan your juicing, your meals, what businesses you can support that feed us, that feed our communities and our communities of color and conscious. And then the study of the Odu Ifa. And we have that resource for you. And I think Awo Ifa Dunson has the video series or the writings that he did for each day of Tawede that he acknowledged and embraced and taught to the Ile. And then, and if we want to have the retreat, then we can talk to Oloye and find out what he will require for us to participate. And we can make that investment, because if you can imagine, like Baba said, that to instill that royal inside, when we come up out of that 16 days, unstoppable. Unstoppable. I don't care what power a regime they put in place, it will not work, because the fortress inside will be so powerful. So we have time for a few questions, just a few from you. If anyone has a question, a comment, I prefer questions for Oloye. If you want any type of insight on a specific element, from the purification to the economic practice to the study of the Odu Ifa, the study and embracing of Yoruba, Ifa, Isheshe culture. Anybody, any questions? And we have about 7 minutes, so don't be shy. Well, we went started a little late, so we'll go a little bit over if we need to. Any questions? And no question is invalid.
I have a question.
Yes.
How did how did all of you how would you respond to the statement that I made? What is your response? All right, now don't let me have to start calling on people.
Pepper, Yodi Shango Day.
Yes, Shango.
Alafia, Oloye. Your message resonates with me deeply because, one, I'm a peaceful warrior, and 2, it really encapsulates that the power is within us. What we're worshiping, our ancestors are within us. We're part of them. And to hear it explained the way that you put it, pulling the energy, and when you're doing your activities, it's not about something external, it's about the internal. I think it's really, really important. So that message really resonated with me.
Thank you, Iya Shango.
Awo? Ipadusi?
Baba,
Permission to speak?
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I mean, I think for me, there's a deep call to like, I mean, in college, I sat with a professor that, and he talked about Jinle Yoruba, right? Like deep Yoruba, not just, the kind of surface level, kind of I hate to say it, but like sometimes there can be a very surface level of Orisha or a fundamentalist kind of engagement that
Yes.
only looks at the literal versus how we're internalizing. And I think that that's also what you're pointing to and specifically saying is, okay, that's cute, but also that can be a metaphor and an analogy and a gesture towards that our ancestors were actually really brilliant.
Yeah.
And that they're orators, they're philosophers, they were king, like not just kings in the right, but actual philosopher kings.
Right.
Who were thinking about the very depths of the universe.
I say.
And that we're not doing a service to our ancestors or to ourselves. But it can be very much like, oh, we're only lifting the ancestors in certain forms of the tradition. Versus again, how to make it about my own elevation, evolution, Iwori Meji, right?
Yes. Yes.
Like that my sun, my light, my inspiration is coming straight from divinity.
Yeah.
And so that's the call. Like that's part of, I've been sitting and writing for a number of years on Jinle Orisha, right?
Good.
Like, how do we? What does that mean? And I just thank you for very much a real ancestor who's doing the work right now that we can sit with and talk about this stuff with, and we don't have to like start from the beginning and make that wheel over. But also just you've done this and the ins and outs and the tricks and the ways that we can get caught off guard. And so also that's a medicine. It's lived experience versus just taking it from a book. So just thank you, Baba.
Thank you, Baba. Ifashade.
Permission, Baba.
Okay.
So my question is, it surrounds and first, thank you for the
Hold
power.
on 1 second. I'm sorry. I thought I was unmuted. I saw the order was Orisha Day, Ifa Shade, Ogun Yashe, and then Ianifa Almeida. I want to give her a chance to greet Baba Oloye before we close. So I think Orisha Day, I'm sorry, was first, and then we'll do Ifa Shade, Ogun Yashe.
Okay, and I just want to say, Baba, in reference to something you said 35 years ago, sitting on the wood floor in East Orange at Ile Tawede, right? Monet, is that put it in a book. Put your experience in a book. And the importance of that was not only therapeutic, but it gives you a greater understanding of yourself. And when I said earlier about you were never a follower, and you encouraged us not to be followers and go by what you hear, that Ifa is not about the electes, how many initiations, the evos, no, it's an internal journey. And we are, I would like to say, inspirational fractals of our ancestors. That's what we are. We agreed to come here for a specific journey. As a behaviorist, I will say, there are 3 aspects to Tawede that is in the Odu, which is the mental, the physical, and the spiritual. I call it the MPS system, is what I have in my journey in doing Tawede came up with. And each aspect of that fractal has a curriculum. It has a philosophical curriculum that only can be interpreted if you are true to who you are and understand the assignment. That is what I learned from you. It is that journey. It is that from concepts. I have every book, I have every workbook, I have everything I've written. I've been traveled a lot, many Babalawos. The greatest, as you know, is Akiwowo. And if Akiwowo gives a Babalawo a stamp, he's from Calabar. He's passed away now. Out of all the Babalawos, even in a show book, Papula, all of them, even at Pega, he put Baba Karade first. Because he said that you had the understanding of the philosophical expressions of the Odu in Ifa. And he learned it through your books, what your process. And I just wanted to let you all know how very this evening for me, let you know how precious it is to have Baba share this information with us and the importance of Tawede. Try it. You'll get discouraged. You'll cry. You'll do a whole lot of things because we don't like to face up to who we are. We're not kind to each other. We don't uplift each other, even many of us on this call. It's not a me thing. It's a we thing. And as Baba said, when we bring the collective of Tawede together based on the individual outcome of our learning in this philosophical journey, that's where the power is. It's not about literal external instructions. It's about the internal philosophical fulfillment of being that fractal of the ancestors. That's what we are. Ashe. That's my comment.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. We have two more. Ifa Sade Oshuntoke.
Permission. I just first off just say thank you, but my question is centered around kind of what was just said in relation to when you talk about taking those 16 days to write and to let things flow. My specific question is, what medicine would you prescribe that we have on hands for day 17 when you come out of that writing and you have to look at self and you really have to deal with the internal traumas that we are often projecting on the other people. And sometimes we're projecting these things because we don't know what was hidden inside, because we don't often take the time, let alone 16 days consecutively, to really deal with your stuff. I work as a therapist, so you take on everybody else's stuff, but you can take on their stuff because you have some of that muck inside of you. And so what do you prescribe on day 17 to address those things that come out in the flow so that there's not this stagnation that happens because you are looking at the fact that you haven't been kind to other people because you haven't been kind to yourself. You don't put yourself first. So you're selfish when it comes to other people in that community, and you're withholding because you don't know what's going on with you internally. And those can be pretty frightening because it's you. It's that self-sabotaging. If it's really you getting in your own way on 17, how do you pause and say, I'm in my own way? How do I remove myself from being in the way?
Right. First of all, I do hear you. Okay. And my response is Stay close to your teachers, your initiator. Have the conversations. Okay. You're part of this elay. I would suggest that on the 17th day, okay, we either meet again and share as much as we like to, because it's an ongoing process. I'm 73 years old today. Okay. And I'm still making great attempts to not self-sabotage. Still making great attempts to carry the weight of the responsibilities that I have and the absorption of that energy that I take on after the session is over, after the demonation is over. Okay. But that's an ongoing process. There is no panacea, if you will. There is no one way to deal with it. However, if you do have someone whom you can share on day 17, this is what meant for you. See, that's now part of the growth that occurred. Okay. A rippling effect, if you will. So again, Ianifa, on day 17, if your elay comes to a consensus that we're going to meet again, and Baba's going to be here, and if anything that anyone would like to share in terms of what they went through, because see, again, harmony just doesn't come from singing and dancing. Okay, and we can be celebratory to the max, but when we start understanding that this is a spiritual elay, that this is a community of seekers, if you will, and we strengthen each other as we strengthen ourselves. So that's a suggestion. Okay. And I think at this point of where you are, Ifa Sade, that would probably be the best. Okay. To take whatever you'd like to share and then see what the elders are saying, and then offer some guidance to, all right, now how are you going to continue this? Does that resonate with you? Does that?
Yes, Baba, thank you.
Okay, you're quite welcome.
Thank you, Baba Ogunyashe.
Oh, Shay, thank you, Godmother. I had a question just around you said like the last 16 days that you wrote the one book. So do you come into Tawede with kind of a set intention, or do you come that first day and just see what spirit moves you to do, or do you come in with, here's my intention for this year and this is what I am, seeking out to manifest?
Thank you. Now, in my response, I'll share that it's individualized. Okay. Some people may have, I have a set goal. Okay. Some people may have whatever moves through me, which was me. I'm more of the Oloye. The Oloye is the spirit of the day. And there are people, who don't really move in that direction. They are either embrace the 4-day week of pre-colonial Africa, basically, because days were based on moon cycles, not on Caesar. You know what I mean? So there may be people who kind of compartmentalize, if you will, and say, okay, there are certain objectives that I'd like to reach, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay. And then there are others who might just say, it's too difficult for me to do every day. You know, I'm not, you know, disciplined in that way, or my work schedule, or my family schedule, my child rearing, I'm taking care of a sick mother, I just don't have that mindset. So then my suggestion would be, don't dismiss the spiritual journey, but include that in the spiritual journey. And if you don't have time to write it, pick up the phone and speak into it. Okay? Because see, part of the accountability is dawning the responsibility to fulfill the sacredness of that pilgrimage. Again, how you do it is entirely up to you. Entirely. But then when we come together on day 17-ish, and you feel that sharing part of your experience, then that encourages and strengthens the group. Okay? Because we're all just puzzle pieces, if you will. But once we find out how we all fit together, it's a beautiful picture.
Yes, it is.
You're almost
Shay, Modupwe.
okay. Does that resonate with you, Baba Ogunyase?
Absolutely. Modupwe, thank you so much.
All right, you're quite welcome. Kodopwe.
And look like we might have lost Nifa Almeida, but I want to welcome Sister Empress, my beloved. She calls me Auntie. And she has recently started on her path of Ifa. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you could be here and get to hear Oloye speak today. And if you would like to greet him and wish him a happy birthday, I'll give you the opportunity to do that right now.
Tell her she's muted.
Oh, you're muted, beloved.
Alapia. Hello.
Alapia.
Say hi, everybody. Happy birthday. You gonna say happy birthday? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll say thank
It's
you.
very loud in here, so I'm gonna put my phone back on mute.
All right, no problem.
I'm so sorry.
No
problem. Well,
If I can figure it out.
I say. Well, we are going to prepare to close our session today, and this has been phenomenal. You have a lot to think about. Hopefully, you took some fabulous notes, and I encourage you, if y'all will email me your questions, I will send them on to Baba to respond to. But some of the things that he talked about, that which has been uprooted, freedom equals liberation. Tawede prepares us to be able to move in the world with calmness and clarity, And the Odu, studying the Odu that first day, Ejiagbe, December 16th, reading Ejiagbe and becoming a disciple. You know, Google it and make sure you understand, what does it mean to be a disciple of a tradition? Baba spoke about that, a disciple of Ifa, you know, and it says that with through Obatala's Ashe, coming into that energy, that blessing, and a greater opportunity to be reborn, letting go of how we think about things. These are some of my notes. Resurrection of ourselves, right? A sense of greatness comes as a result of the 16 days of dedicating to Tawede and taking it, he called it a spiritual pilgrimage, right? And
Right.
the center into the womb space, both the male and female, what takes place within the human. All right, so just dots of my notes. But December 16th is the first day of Tawede. And the first Odu is Ejiagbe. It starts with cleansing and purifying the body temple instead of, putting the garbage in. We just, have a simple green tea or some green juice or a nice salad or whatever it is you would like to eat. But eating something that puts life in your body, that's the key. And then reconvening on January 1, that 17th day, to talk about our reflections and our understanding of self and revelations that came as a result. And so I want to thank all of you for being here. We're going to be meeting again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for the reading of the year. And it is a powerful one. I will contributed to the reading with Shango's reflections, which were powerful on healing the elder and the youth and healing, between the temple elders and the members of the elect. Powerful wisdom from Shango as part of that reading. So we'll reconvene tomorrow. I'm excited. And until then, happy Tawede. Starts on December 16th through the 31st. And you can email me any additional reflections, thoughts, ideas. We will have this recording available to you. And if you have not submitted, if you have a love offering, or you can submit prayer, I'll pour some water for the king today. And we celebrate you every day. Every day, I will. Is a day that we reflect on your contributions and love and care for this community that you give so freely and generously. And so we're going to close now. And I thank you all for being here and being part of our journey and our destiny. And we thank our wall. I'm going to put him up on the screen one last time for y'all to unmute yourself. Everybody unmute yourself. And we're going to sing. And sing happy birthday to
Birthday to
you.
ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Okay.
Many,
All right.
many more.
We love you, Baba.
We love you, Baba.
We do love you. We love you so much.
I'm
I
deeply
say, you're a gift, Baba.
Yeah.
Thank
I,
you.
I, I'm humbled.
What
I
a
really
what a what a
love you.
beautiful way to have a day.
But we're going to go on the road with the singing group, okay?
Oh, no.
Yes,
But
go on with his loves.
I am beyond. I am beyond. I appreciate you so much, and Ianifa, for doing this, and all who have been so much a part of the wonder of this day. Life is just a wonder, and that doesn't mean that it's chaotic or indecisive. I'll put a wondrous on it. Life is wondrous. The sound of a bird is a prayer. The falling of the rain touching the body is a baptism. Every breath, a divine essence. It's wonderful. This thing called life. Yeah. So again, Adupwe, everything about me gives thanks. And know that you are loved. Know that you are embraced. Know that I am here. Ashe.
Thank you, Baba. All right. Well, we're going to have a good rest of your day. And as Tabitha Brown says, If you can't have a good day, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.